Your British Shorthair has been refusing to eat for 2 days, and the vet just told you it's because of something you've been doing every single day without realizing it. Not something dramatic, not neglect, something ordinary, something most owners do with the best intentions. That's the uncomfortable truth about this breed. The mistakes that hurt them most aren't the obvious ones. They're the quiet, well-meaning ones. The habits that feel like kindness, but work against everything a British Shorthair actually needs. This video is about 10 of those mistakes. And if you've had your British Shorthair for more than a few months, I'd be surprised if at least 3 of these don't apply to you. Stay until the end because number 7 trips up even experienced cat owners. Number 4 is behind most of the obesity problems in this breed. And number 10 is the one that silently damages trust over years without a single obvious sign. Like this video now, before you even see what's coming. I worked on this longer than you've been watching. Fair trade. The first mistake is treating the British Shorthair like a lap cat. This sounds almost insulting to say because the British Shorthair looks like the perfect lap cat. Round face, plush coat, calm expression. Every instinct says, pick this cat up, hold it, cuddle it. And owners do, constantly. They lift the cat onto their lap. They hold it when it tries to move. They interpret every moment of stillness as an invitation. But the British Shorthair is not a lap cat. The breed's independence is not a personality quirk. It is structural. These cats descended from working cats, mousers and ratters who lived on British farms and streets. They were bred for utility, not companionship in the physical sense. Their bond with humans is real and deep, but it is expressed on their terms, in their way. When you repeatedly pick up a British Shorthair that doesn't want to be picked up, you're not showing love. You're training the cat to avoid you. Over weeks and months, a cat that gets lifted against its will learns to leave the room before you can get close. The physical trust erodes quietly, and owners often don't notice until the cat has become noticeably more distant. The correction is simple. Let the cat come to you. It will. British Shorthairs are deeply attentive to their people. They follow, observe, choose to sit nearby. That proximity, that deliberate choice to be in your orbit, is their version of affection. Respect it. The second mistake is underestimating how much protein they need. British Shorthairs are a muscular breed. Their stocky, dense body requires protein to maintain. The problem is that many commercial cat foods sold in supermarkets are grain-heavy and protein-light, formatted for cost, not for feline biology. Cats are obligate carnivores. They cannot synthesize certain amino acids on their own. They must get taurine, arginine, and others from animal protein. A diet that's heavy on cereal fillers and light on meat doesn't just cause weight problems. It can cause muscle wasting, even in a cat that looks healthy, and it places strain on the kidneys over time. British Shorthairs are already predisposed to kidney issues. Poor nutrition accelerates this. Look at the first 3 ingredients on your cat's food. If you see corn, wheat, or corn gluten meal before any meat source, that food is not appropriate for this breed long-term. The best diets for British Shorthairs are high in named animal protein, chicken, turkey, fish, and low in carbohydrates. Wet food should be a significant part of their diet, both for the protein quality and for the moisture content, because British Shorthairs don't drink enough water on their own. The third mistake is free feeding, connected to the last point, but important enough to stand alone. Free feeding means leaving food down all day so the cat can eat whenever it wants. It works fine for some breeds with better self-regulation. British Shorthairs are not those breeds. Studies on feline obesity consistently show that British Shorthairs are among the most obesity-prone pedigree cats. And obesity in this breed is not a cosmetic problem. It accelerates the development of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a heart condition that already affects around 9 to 12% of British Shorthairs by middle age. It worsens joint problems in a breed that already carries substantial body weight on a relatively low frame. It shortens life. The fix is scheduled feeding. 2 meals a day, measured portions, food down for 20 minutes, and then removed. This feels harsh if you're used to grazing pets, but British Shorthairs adjust to schedules remarkably well. They are creatures of routine. A feeding schedule doesn't deprive them, it protects them. The fourth mistake is ignoring their dental health. This one is not dramatic, and that's exactly why most owners skip it. There's no obvious sign of a problem until there is a serious problem. British Shorthairs are prone to periodontal disease. The bacteria that build up in untreated gums don't stay in the mouth. They enter the bloodstream and affect the heart, kidneys, and liver, the organs this breed is already predisposed to have problems with. A 2019 study in the Journal of Veterinary Dentistry found that over 80% of cats show some degree of dental disease by age 3. Most owners never brush their cat's teeth, but even owners who know they should start too late, or stop after the first difficult attempt. The key is starting young and going slowly. A cat that grows up with toothbrushing as part of its routine accepts it far more willingly than an adult cat who encounters it for the first time. If brushing isn't possible, dental chews, water additives, and prescription dental diets can help. But these are second-best options. Twice-weekly brushing with cat-safe toothpaste is the standard your vet will recommend. Most owners will sigh at this and do nothing. The ones who don't will have cats with significantly fewer health problems at 10 and 12 years old. The fifth mistake is treating shyness as a permanent trait. British Shorthairs are reserved with strangers. New people in the house, unfamiliar sounds, changes to routine. These cats respond by withdrawing, watching from a distance, or hiding. Many owners accept this as who the cat is. But shyness and a lack of socialization are different things. A British Shorthair kitten that isn't exposed to varied environments, sounds, different people, and gentle handling in the first 12 weeks of life will carry anxiety into adulthood that looks permanent but isn't entirely fixed. And even adult British Shorthairs can become more confident with patient, structured exposure. The mistake is deciding that the cat is just shy and accommodating that indefinitely rather than gently expanding the cat's comfort zone. A genuinely under-socialized British Shorthair lives a smaller, more anxious life than it needs to. The breed is capable of remarkable calm and confidence, but it needs to have been given the foundation for it. The sixth mistake is not providing enough vertical space. You read that right. This is the breed people assume doesn't need vertical space because it's not athletic. British Shorthairs don't do flying leaps. They're not acrobats, but they are observational cats. They need height to feel secure. High ground gives them information about their environment, and information gives them calm. A British Shorthair without access to elevated surfaces, cat trees, shelves, the top of a wardrobe, will often seem more anxious, more territorial about furniture, and more reactive to household activity. The physical setup of the home matters. A cat that can choose to be high up in a room is a cat that feels in control. And a British Shorthair that feels in control is the calm, dignified animal the breed is known for. The seventh mistake is understimulating them mentally. The British Shorthair looks like a cat that doesn't need much. It sleeps a lot, it's not loud, it doesn't chase its tail or knock things off shelves out of boredom, at least not visibly. Owners see this stillness and interpret it as contentment. But British Shorthairs are intelligent. Their quiet is not vacancy. A British Shorthair without enough mental stimulation doesn't act out dramatically. It slows down in a way that's easy to miss. Energy decreases. Interest in interaction decreases. The cat becomes a furniture presence rather than a companion. Puzzle feeders, rotating toys, short daily play sessions with a wand toy, 15 minutes twice a day is enough to make a meaningful difference. The breed doesn't need constant entertainment, but it does need regular engagement with something that uses its hunting instincts. Without that outlet, the mind of a British Shorthair quietly dims. The eighth mistake is skipping annual vet checks because the cat seems healthy. British Shorthairs are stoic. This is not a metaphor. The breed has a measurably higher threshold for displaying pain and illness than most other breeds. A British Shorthair with early kidney disease looks completely normal. A British Shorthair with developing hypertrophic cardiomyopathy goes about its day as usual until the condition is advanced. By the time you can see something is wrong, the problem has usually been present for months. Annual veterinary checks with blood work, blood pressure measurement, and a cardiac assessment are not optional for this breed. They're the only way to catch what the cat won't show you. Many owners only go to the vet when symptoms appear. For British Shorthairs, that strategy consistently means catching problems late. The ninth mistake is getting one when they'd actually do better with two. British Shorthairs are often described as independent, and they are. But independent doesn't mean they want to be alone for 10 hours a day. These cats form attachments. They notice absence. A British Shorthair left alone for long hours on a regular basis shows the same markers of separation stress that other breeds do, but more quietly. Two British Shorthairs, or a British Shorthair paired with a calm, compatible breed, typically do better than solitary cats in households where owners are away for most of the day. The companionship regulates their stress levels in ways that toys and window perches cannot fully replicate. This isn't true for every individual, but it's true often enough to be worth considering before deciding one is enough. The 10th mistake is reading distance as rejection. This is the one that does quiet, long-term damage to the relationship. British Shorthairs don't push for attention the way a Siamese or a Maine Coon might. They don't follow you from room to room with obvious need. They sit at a comfortable distance, watch, and wait. Owners who don't understand this interpret the distance as indifference, and they respond by withdrawing their own attention. The relationship becomes a standoff. The cat observes, the owner stops trying. Over time, this becomes the default, a polite coexistence where neither party is really connecting. But the British Shorthair's distance is not rejection. It is observation. It is a form of companionship that requires the owner to be present without demanding. The correct response to a British Shorthair that sits across the room and watches you is not to reach over and try to pick it up. It's to stay there, be calm, be available. The cat will move closer when it's ready. It always does. The relationship this breed offers is unlike most. It's not loud or demonstrative. It's quiet and consistent, and built over years of accumulated small gestures. A paw placed on your knee, a choice to sleep on your side of the bed, a slow blink from across the room. These are not substitutes for affection. They are affection, exactly as the British Shorthair understands it. Every experienced British Shorthair owner eventually figures this out. The question is only how long it takes, and how many of these 10 mistakes you make along the way. If any of this changed how you think about your cat, leave a comment below. Tell me which mistake surprised you most. I'm curious whether number 7 or number 10 tends to catch people off guard more. And if you found this useful, share it with someone who's about to get a British Shorthair for the first time.